I'll be right back. I'm back. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while since I have uploaded, and I am sorry for that, but this video will explain where your girl has been. Alright, so keep watching. First off, welcome back to my channel, guys. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded, but it's just been a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just kind of took a break, and I kind of just wanted to revamp how I was doing my YouTube channel. Just kind of give you a little bit different content. It's still gonna be like hair and makeup stuff, but just a little bit more of my life's purpose tied into it. So this video, I'm going to talk about all of the changes. Yay! So this video is going to be hopefully the start of many to come, but a series that I created called Clean Face Conversations. Ding! So what is Clean Face Conversations, right? So as I put my hair back, I shall explain. Basically, Clean Face Conversations is just kind of going to be my way of literally taking off the makeup, peeling back the layers, and kind of just getting really real with you guys. And you know, it's kind of metaphorical. When you take off your makeup and your bare face, you're bearing it all. And so hopefully some of these topics that we'll talk about are just kind of things that mean a lot to me. Some things are serious, some are going to be more on the playful side, but you know, all of them have some sort of meaning to me. And it's just a way for me to kind of just have a conversation with you guys without any barriers, without any makeup barriers, and just be real. Also, it's kind of going more into the skincare, things that I do for my skin, how I take off my makeup, and just kind of testing out new things, testing out new masks, skincare products, things like that. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video, and we'll be back for many, many more. Let me put this on. So let's get started. I go in with my Face Halo makeup remover. Now, if you guys have not tried these, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you get them. I was just getting sick of using makeup wipes. Like, I felt like I was going through so much makeup wipes, and I had to be really super careful because some makeup wipes were breaking me out, messing up my skin. I have uber sensitive skin, so it was just not where it was at. And so these are reusable. I got the black ones. They come in white, black, and then I think they have a red one. And they are, you know, cruelty-free, vegan, good for the environment, yada, 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 yada. They're good. So I start with my Face Halo, and I like that because I literally can just like swipe off all my makeup. So let's just get to the tea. Like, why are we here? What are we gonna talk about, sis? I'm gonna tell you. So basically, I quit my job. I quit my job to pursue my career in acting. And if you don't know, which many of you probably don't know, my major in college was theater. So I've known for a while I wanted to be an actor. But unfortunately, I kind of just let fear get in the way of that. You know, you graduate and then it's like, oh, well, you need to get a job and save money. Okay. And then getting a job to save money to move turned into 10 years of me putting off acting. So I kind of just, in every job I was in, I just never, it was just always a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to say it was me, like, because I'm a hard worker. So anybody who really knows me knows I work really hard. And I just always felt like it was never enough. Like, oh, you're not perky enough. Oh, you're not, you know, we expect more from you. And then I'd be like, but you don't expect that from Bob. Well, we expect more from you. Why? Don't expect more from me. Let me just do my job and go home like everybody else, right? So literally when I worked at the gym, when I worked at the jewelry store, I worked at 2 banks, like I just always felt like, what is the problem? Like, why can't I just find a job that is just smooth sailing? You know what I mean? And then kind of fast forward to 2016, I started at this new place. It was a bank, and I told myself, this is my last job. This is it. If it's not gonna be acting, I'm not going anywhere. Meanwhile, you see how it took off all my makeup, and all I've been doing is wiping my face. And I stayed there for 3.5 years. Actually, this May would have been my 4th year. But it was cool. I went through 3 managers, and they've all had their ups and downs. I was going through a lot of like anxiety, and I never had anxiety or like depression until I started working at that job. And I had like 3 panic attacks there, and they were like almost each year. And the first time it happened, I had no clue what was going on. I was just like sitting there talking to my coworker like and I was like, I can't breathe. Like it was so crazy. It was so random. Next one, I was like in the back room crying in a corner. My manager, he came and was just like, are you okay? Like, I was just like, I don't know what's wrong. So literally the job itself was stressful. And anybody who works in anyone who works in customer service or sales knows how it can be. And I just feel like sometimes it's really hard for Black women in corporate America to be introverts, like, because then we get the peg of, oh, you have an attitude or you have a chip on your shoulder. No, I'm quiet and I'm doing my job. What do you want from me? I don't know. What do you want? So I had already known at the start of 2019, because when I turned 30, that was rough. And I didn't think it would be as rough as it was. And I mentor young girls. Exercise we had to do. And it was coming to face your own mortality. So you had to read your eulogy. So I'm reading my eulogy and I'm like, Danielle has died at the age of 29. She did not have a husband. She did not have any kids. She never accomplished her dreams of becoming an actress. And I just started crying. I just started crying in front of the girls. I was just like, oh wow, this is like realer than I thought it would be. But like, it really affected me when I was like reading that, like to think if I were to die right now, I didn't have a husband, I didn't have kids, I never went out for my dreams, like I died unhappy, like that hit home for me. Like that was some of the realest revelation that I had ever had. Think about it. We started, that was how my year was starting. So I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Now, you know how you say stuff, but then you don't necessarily follow through. Oh no, I think God made it so I was following through, because 2019 was just really rough. So I had the whole thing happen. It was just really a struggle to go to work every day. Like I would be crying in the parking lot. Like I just really, really hated going to work. Okay. I would go to work, come home, and just want to lay in the bed. Like I didn't want to do anything else. Like that's how mentally draining that place was. Like I did not want to do anything. I had already been saving, right? I just started saving like ridiculously, like the last 6 months, like saving to the point where I wasn't doing nothing else. I was paying the bills, and if the bill wasn't paid, I mean, if it wasn't a bill being paid, that money was going into the savings account. Because I didn't want to quit and go to another job. I'm like, because remember, I said when I started this job, I'm not going to another job. And there was no way that I was going to be able to pursue acting at another job. So I was quitting to pursue acting. So I needed to save my money. Been for Perfect Skin. People stop using these. I don't know why. It's from Vanity Planet. So I'm going to use the Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Gel Mask Extreme Detox Hydrate. So, mind you, when we got the new manager, I was already like done. I was like, I'm leaving. I don't care. I'm done with this place. So we really didn't even really have that much interaction. Like, their goal was to coach, and I'm just like, you don't need to coach me, buddy. I'm about to be out. They didn't know that. But I'm just like, don't try to observe me and coach me. I don't need to be here. Basically, I had already signed up for Central Casting. And when I signed up for Central Casting, they literally were like sending me jobs. Like, I signed up on a Tuesday. That Thursday, they were asking me to be on sets, like for background work. And I'm just sitting here like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Here's the opportunity for me to get paid doing acting. Now, of course, it wasn't as much as I was making at the bank or anything like that, but it was doing what I love to do. Let me set my timer and let's go. Every time I had to say no to going on one of those sets, it was just like, this job is holding me up. Like, this job is holding me up. Because I can't just call out every time I have to be on set. They were literally sending me messages like once a week. So I can't call out. But this is why I said God made sure that I was out of that job, because if I would have stayed, like I said, if I would have had the other managers, I probably would have stayed at the job a little bit longer and not given acting my all. So he had to put these type of managers in here that I knew would not understand or not go for it. I have been trying to go to another department for like years. It just didn't work out. And then when my manager left, it just kind of started getting really bad with my assistant manager. And so I put in for a transfer to another branch. And they never acknowledged, like the people in the branch acknowledged it, but the powers that be that have to approve it, I never got a phone call, never saying, you know what, hey, this is what's going on, we can't move you, but it's like I put it in and it disappeared. It didn't get recognized. Lo and behold, December rolls around. That manager at the branch that I wanted to transfer to left the company. Now, I don't know, like, if this is not signs from God that I just need to leave. Like, literally anyone and everyone that I felt comfortable with left the company or left my branch. My like closest person I was to that was like, oh, that we were both like, yeah, this is our last year. He quit in August. I'm just like, everyone's leaving. No one knew that I was putting in my 2 weeks except my boyfriend, but no one at my job knew. Oh God, it felt so good. Like, cause I remember being in that struggle period in like around September, and I was telling my boyfriend like, 4 more months. 4 more months, that's all I got. I gotta just get through 4 more months, crying at him like 4 more months. It got to the point where I was counting down to the days. I would be like 3 months, 7 weeks, 24 hours, like, and every week, 11 weeks, 3 months, such and such days. You know what I mean? Like, it was so crazy because that's a big step for me. Like, I am very much a person that likes security, likes consistency. So to give up a consistent paycheck to go to the unknown was like terrifying for me. But the reality is, when I was working that job, I could only work 40 hours a week making this amount per hour. They were the ones telling me how much I could make, and I could only ever make this much. But with acting or YouTube, what I make is up to me. You know what I mean? If I can get on a TV show and a movie and shoot a YouTube and sell some books, like, I can make however much I want to make. And that's what kept pushing me. Like, you know what? Don't get caught up in the paycheck. Do not get caught up in the paycheck, because if you do, you're going to be stuck only making this amount of money when you can literally make 3 times that much when you go out and work on your career, or you be an entrepreneur, or be an actor, or be an author, write a book, or, you know, whatever. So I had to have a future focus. Like, I had to understand that this check might look nice now, but if I settle for this, then this is all I can ever make, when I can easily clear my salary with one movie. You know what I mean? Like, easily, if I make it to that level. I just kept thinking to myself, like, I gotta do this. I have to do this. I've been miserable. I have been miserable, and I'd rather be scared doing what I love than be comfortable and miserable every day of my life. I couldn't live like that anymore. And so I put in my 2 weeks. They were like, so my friends were like, well, when you putting it in? When you putting it in? I literally gave them exactly 2 weeks. I put my 2 weeks in December 17th at 2 p.m. because 2 weeks from then would be December 31st. And that's New Year's Eve. So we'd be closing early. So around 3 o'clock. I gave him exactly 2 weeks. Nothing more. And the funny thing is, oh, that's the timer. Let's go wash this off. The thought, like, I was nervous. Like, I was really nervous. And I remember it being like the Sunday before I told my boy, like the Sunday before I was due to put it in, and we were sitting in the car, and I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm about to do this. Ugh. Like, cause I had never, of course, quit a job and not have another job lined up right behind it. So I was just like really nervous, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't believe I'm about to do this. Is this the right decision? But I knew it was the right decision. I knew I needed to leave. Just because, one, I felt like being there, I was so many things. I was angry, I was frustrated, I was depressed, I was having anxiety. Like, I felt like I couldn't hear God because I was just so angry. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel like I was living like I should be living. And I was like, I know this is the right decision. I know I need to leave. I know I need to leave. So what I want you guys to understand is that me being at those jobs were difficult because that's not where I was meant to be. You know, when you're not following the purpose that God has for you, you know, when you're not listening and being obedient, it's gonna be a tougher road. And I feel like He had to make my situation uncomfortable for me to finally make a decision to move. I've always wanted to act. I've always wanted to sing and dance and be on Broadway and be in TV and things like that. And I just lived in fear. And I think the older I got, the bigger the fear became. I guess I was scared of rejection. I was scared of failing. That was a really big thing. Like, when I turned 30, I just felt like such a failure. Like, I felt like I didn't accomplish anything that I wanted to accomplish. I was in this job that I didn't like. I just felt like a failure. Like, literally that was just the spirit that took over me. Like, I felt like such a failure. I'm 30. I felt like I didn't have anything to show for it. And that's what kept me living in fear. Like, I kind of put acting on a shelf, right? So I would try other things, and if I failed at them, it would be disappointing, or it'd be okay because that wasn't my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal was acting. And as long as I didn't fail at acting, as long as I never tried, I couldn't fail. And that was like kind of my mindset. And also it felt like if I could just put it on a shelf and just always look at it, you know, no matter what I tried, no matter what I did, I could always go, but there's always acting. I can always try it. I can always try it. But the longer I waited, the more I kind of felt like, well, I don't want to mess that dream up. You know, I don't want to, I already feel like a failure in all these other realms. Like, I don't want to fail at that too. And then I'll have nothing. Like, I literally felt like that. Like, I would have nothing. So I worked, and you know, but working in those jobs wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't carrying out my purpose. And I really just felt empty. So I really feel that God had to make those jobs and those managers uncomfortable for me, because if I were comfortable, if I moved to the department I wanted to, or if I stayed at the branch, or if I moved to another branch and I felt good about it, I wouldn't have left, and I wouldn't have finally just taken the leap of fate that it takes to just go for it, you know. And so I was prepping myself all of 2019, like, we're not going to live in fear anymore. We're not going to live in fear. And that's what quitting my job meant. It meant me no longer living in fear, no longer leaving the dream on the shelf, you know, knowing that even there is no failure if I'm pursuing my dream. You know what I mean? Like, I have no choice. It has no choice but to work, because, you know, God gives the desires of your heart and he doesn't take them back. And I know this is what I'm called to do. And so there is no failing at this. But it took me all year to muster up the courage and the faith to understand that, you know, and that's what quitting my job meant. It meant, we're going to step out on faith. God, we trust you. We're going to do this, and you're going to make it work. You know, it has no choice but to work. And that's why it was such a big step for me. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, she quit her job. Quitting my job was a really, really big step for me, but I don't regret it. I don't miss it. I'm just really happy with that decision, because I know it was a decision that has forever changed my life. Even down to the small factor of, I didn't let fear hold me back. You know what I mean? If nothing else happens, I did not let fear hold me back from trying to accomplish something that I wanted to do. And there's so much satisfaction in that. But it's gonna work. Trust and believe. It's gonna work. But yeah, like it feels really, really good. I'm in acting classes. I had my first time being on a professional TV set. So if you want to hear about that experience, go check out the next video that I have that I will post. But yeah, I know I made the right decision. I know that it is something that had to be done, for me to be happy. Like, just happy. And there's just so much joy that I have now that I'm in acting classes. I'm learning. I'm around other people who have the same dream and goal and vision that I do. So it's nice to be able to pick up the phone and go, well, what are you doing? And how do you feel? And stuff like that. Like, I truly wanted you guys to understand, like, I did this and I left my job and I quit my job for the betterment of me, for the betterment of my future. Because I know in my heart of hearts, if anything would have went down any differently, I probably would have still been there. You know what I mean? If we all got along and I liked it there, and I was doing well, I would have stayed. Or if I would have gotten moved to the marketing position, or if I would have got transferred to the other branch, I might still be there, and I might not be living out the dream and the purpose that I know God has for me. And so even though it was really rough, again, even though the journey was hard, the destination, you know, is worth it. And not saying I'm at my destination, but you know, that first part of this journey was really, really hard for me. And I learned a lot of stuff, but I had to go through it. I had to learn. And I, you know, it is what it is. It was an experience, and it had to happen for me to push and fight for my dream. You know what I mean? If it was easy, if everything was easy, I would have stayed at the job, and a whole nother year would have went by and I would not be pursuing my dream. But how I felt when I turned 30, and I just felt so lost and so broken. Like, I never want to feel like that again. And I felt like if I don't pursue my dreams now, then I'm dooming myself to a life of like misery. And I don't want to live that life. I don't want to be that person. I want to know that I went for it, that I tried. And so I'm happy, you know, it hasn't been all sunshine and roses. I have gotten a little like, was it the right decision? Not because leaving the job, but you know, leaving the income. Every time I start to question, God goes, this is what they're going through. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm glad I'm not there no more. All right, guys, I hope you liked this first episode of Clean Face Conversations. I hope to bring you many more episodes of this. Please drop down in the comments topics that you would like to hear about. I do plan on bringing some friends along with this series. So drop down in the comments. Let me know what you want to hear about. And as far as this first topic, have you quit your job to pursue your dream? Are you in the middle of figuring out what your dream is? Do you feel like you need to quit your job? You know what I realized? You know how the Bible says you cannot serve two masters? That's literally how I felt. There was no way I was going to be able to work this job and then work hard at my dream of becoming an actor. One of them was going to have to suffer, and it wasn't going to be the dream of becoming an actor. So the job had to go, right? So where are you in your process? Are you figuring out your dream? Are you pursuing your dream 100%? Are you stuck? Let me know. Drop a comment. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, guys, that is my story of why I quit my job to pursue my dreams. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this new concept that I'm doing. Literally bearing my face and bearing my soul so we can really get up close and intimate with these conversations and some things that have been on my heart and on my mind. And I'm glad that you stuck around to this part of the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye. Oh my gosh, guys, I just put my 2 weeks in at my job. Like, I can't believe I really did it. I just put my 2 weeks in. It is official. I'm out of here. In 2020, we are going to be starting new. We're going to be focusing on all of our goals. I can't believe I really did it. I was so nervous. Like, and my manager was just like, well, it seems like if there was opportunity, you would stay. And I was like, well, I mean, but I have to do it. I cannot step into what God has for me if I do not make this move. And I know this is the right move to make. I'm at peace. Was nervous as hell, but I'm at peace with it. But I can't believe I did it. Like, this is real. This is real.